All right, 15 to 11. Let's go. So, somewhat recently, I wanted to, try and get into the horror genre of video games, and I haven't really played any, and I just, really felt like going into it, and I saw Dead Rising 2 was like, it wasn't really like too horror-y, but like it had like a cool gameplay idea, with like pretty much you're stuck inside a shopping mall or area that is run over by zombies. There's a zombie outbreak, and you have to survive for 3 days, and it is a pretty cool concept, even though it's kind of like overdone and cliched. They don't take it too seriously. Like, they do take it like seriously, like the characters in the story, but the game doesn't take it like, oh my gosh, this huge drama. I mean, the main character, he has stuff with his daughter and Zombrex, and the story is pretty good. It is, lighthearted throughout it. There is some like pretty intense stuff with the psychopaths and the creepy dudes, but the gameplay, strangely enough, reminds me of Pikmin, where you kind of have to strategize on how you're going to go through your days and your hours. Is you have people to rescue, and you get those notifications on the side to know when those people can be rescued, and they're all timed missions. And the same with the bosses and the psychopaths, and a lot of the stuff is optional. There is the main story they also have to watch out, and you also have to give your daughter a Zombrex every day, so that's a thing to look out for. And it is a pretty cool time management game. The gameplay is pretty fun and rewarding, and the psychopaths are pretty neat, and the soundtrack is pretty good. So yeah, Dead Rising 2. Uh-oh, I could hear the comment section going, neater. So yeah, you probably already know what Celeste is. It's a hard platformer for like every freaking console out there, and it is a pretty cool one at that. It is hard. It is really hard if you do like the B-sides and try and like 100% everything, which I did not do because I like having a good time. And it wasn't too hard though, because I beat it like in one day. I think it was like one night in the morning, and that was it. It is fairly short. I think there's like 10, 12 stages, or maybe less. The gameplay gimmicks and everything, like the gameplay just feels so satisfying and so responsive. The gimmicks with all sorts of stuff, they're very unique and fun. And the story is pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of they're doing like tackling like issues of like life and I don't know whatnot, and I just can't relate to the story at all, and it kind of falls flat for me, but I bet other people would like it more. The music in the game is pretty freaking good. Cowquack really likes it, and he simps to it every day. Some of the songs are like 9 minutes long though, which is pretty long, but they are pretty good. They are pretty relaxing and pretty tense at the same time, and it's a pretty cool game in that sense. And yeah, everybody says it's like really good, and I could see that. It's just I don't think it's that good as people are making it out to be. So yeah, Celeste, y'all. So believe it or not, I finished Pokemon Black this year because back in the day, you know, I got the game on release. I have a freaking limited edition Pokemon Black DSi, but I just never beat it because I got stuck in like the town or something, and I just didn't like it for some reason. And I don't know why I didn't like it, because this game is freaking awesome. It's probably one of the best Pokemon games out there. I haven't gone too far into Black 2, or maybe it's White 2, I don't know, but like but this is pretty good. The graphics and soundtrack and everything is pretty much the best as it's been in the series so far. The Pokemon are pretty cool and interesting. I'm not a huge fan of Pokemon as I was back in the day. Like, I like it, the gameplay is fun and entertaining, but I just like, it's a bit too basic or maybe too streamlined for me. But it is still pretty fun to this day, and the story is actually like good, and you would actually care about it than other games. It is pretty cool, like seeing like in the next game with like N and the characters and like how everything changed over 2 years. But this is about this game. I don't know, it was pretty good. Probably best, you know, Pokemon game out there, and yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. I mean, the soundtrack's a bop, and gameplay's, you know, usual Pokemon. Now that I think about it, maybe it shouldn't be this high, or maybe not. Well, anyways, yeah, that's Pokemon Black for you.
I think it's time for Jack to let her rip.
Dude, so Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. So I'm a pretty big fan of the Metal Gear Solid series, and I've played pretty much all of them except 4 and Peace Walker, and I just finished 5 and I kind of wanted more, and I heard about Metal Gear Rising Revengeance and how like it wasn't a Metal Gear Solid game, and like everybody was like, oh, it sucks. And I played it, and holy crap, this is not a Metal Gear Solid game. There's no sneaking or anything, but the gameplay is so cool and like fun. It is so like testosterone and like thrilly. Like this is not for Metal Gear like people who want to like, you know, play Metal Gear Solid game. This is not it, but this is a really fun hack and slash game. The sword mechanics are super cool. Like, you can cut stuff into a ton of pieces. It's very exhilarating. It's very fun. The bosses are really cool. The soundtrack is awesome. The first boss is like a freaking Metal Gear, and it is so ridiculous and silly at a point, and it's just funny because of that, and so entertaining. It's kind of like, and there is some like good like MGS lore and stuff with Raiden and memes, DNA of the Soul, and it is such like a memey game, if you're catching my drift, and it is such a fun time with like all the bosses and everything, and it is a relatively short experience at that. So yeah, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, it is a bop. Now, this is where I start seeing maybe the issues within my list so far, but, you know, I'm putting Sonic Rush above Pokemon Black, but then again, I do have some nostalgia, or a decent amount of nostalgia for Sonic Rush. So Sonic Rush, you know, it's more of a classic 2D Sonic game, except you go really fast, like a lot fast, and the stages are like, they're a lot more, you know, about going fast and less about, you know, puzzle solving and all that. I mean, there are some stop moments which kind of lose all the thrill, but they're not, you know, they come far in between. There is a boost meter at the left, which you could increase by doing tricks and stuff, by staying in the air and getting a hang time. And when you fill it up all the way, you could do like this super boost mode where you just go really fast, and it's a really fun time. The soundtrack is awesome, especially for a DS game. It really surprised me from a Sonic game in general. And even though you wouldn't be really hearing it all the time because of all the sound and Sonic go like, yeah, yo, from like doing tricks and stuff. But there are some like problems with it, with like lots of death pits, like instant death. Then you have to retry the stage, you know, if you fall in it, or at least go to a checkpoint. The special stages are pretty fun, and the story is okay. You know, it's a good Sonic story, and Blaze is pretty cool as a character. And she has like different renditions of each of the stages, and there's like 10 stages of the game. The boss fights are a bit monotonous though, and they do kind of drag on for a bit too long, and it's just, you know, waiting through the same patterns over and over. But it is still a pretty fun time, and I highly recommend it to any Sonic fan or any DS owner in general, because it is a bop.